Well, about a month and a half ago, shocking news broke. Statistics Canada was secretly, as in secret from you, reaching out to Canada's banks, telling them they wanted to get the private banking details of 500,000 Canadians. And they would take it from 500,000 Canadians every year. That would be information about every deposit you make, every withdrawal, every Interac payment, who you sent money to, who you loaned money from. And all of this would be done without your permission and even without notice to you. Well, we were shocked, and we set up a petition at stopsnooping.ca demanding that Trudeau keep his big mitts off our private deets. We weren't the only ones with a petition, and it was raised in question period. After digging in his heels for a while, Justin Trudeau seemed to back down. Now, we had retained a law firm called Minden Gross to fight this by going to the Privacy Commissioner, and we were gearing up for the fight when suddenly Trudeau read the opinion polls and backed down. So we sort of stalled our campaign, and then I saw this character, Alan Burke is his name, a passionate fighter who cares about privacy. I saw him on another TV station talking about a letter he received saying that StatsCan wasn't done snooping at all. They had just moved from banking information to credit reports. Well, I asked him to come in and to bring in his letter, and he did. And Alan Burke joins me now. Alan, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Well, I like the fact that you've got a fighting spirit, and I have in my hand a copy of the letter you got from TransUnion, which is a credit bureau. Tell me a little bit about what this means.
Well, what it means, I've been in the credit business myself for years, and I've done many credit applications. What this basically means is someone gave TransUnion access to pull my personal credit file. The only way they can pull a credit file is if they have my name, my date of birth, and my social insurance number. So I am just so upset that I've never received a letter like this before.
Yeah, let me read the key line because it's important. We are writing to you because you recently reviewed your consumer disclosure, and we wanted to inform you that a technical issue delayed the posting of a soft inquiry by Statistics Canada dated September 24th. The issue is now being corrected, and your disclosure reflects a complete account of the information in your credit file. Let me read one more sentence, and I'd like you to explain it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to show people.
Sure.
This is weird.
Very weird.
As a soft inquiry is non-credit related, it has no impact on your credit score. So what are they doing if they're not checking your credit? If you didn't say, hey, Statistics Canada, I want a loan or something like. Credit reports are when you're trying to borrow money or something.
Exactly.
Exactly. So what was this about?
Okay, first of all, when they mention a soft inquiry, the only difference between a soft inquiry, and I know this, and a hard inquiry is if you're going for a loan, applying for a credit card, what have you, what the financial institution will do is they'll do a hard inquiry, and it'll give you all credit information. Soft inquiry is exactly the same thing as a hard inquiry. There's no difference between the two. The only difference is it doesn't show on your credit file.
So this is sort of an under the radar.
Right.
And that's what's so weird here. It's like the credit score company was saying, sorry, this wasn't properly put on your record. Like, we are writing because there was a technical issue that delayed posting this.
Right.
Like, that's such a strange thing to even bring to your attention.
Well, and look at the date of the letter. It was dated November 27th, and they're talking about September the 24th. Yeah, there's something really wrong here. Like, that is not normal.
It sounded, and like, were you surprised to receive this letter? Did you request it? Did it come out of the blue?
I have never, ever received a letter like this from any of the reporting agencies ever. This is the first time.
Like, do you have anything to do with TransUnion? Did you work with them on something? Like, they just wrote to you out of the blue?
Just out of the blue.
Huh. It's so weird to say, hey, dear Alan Burke, we're writing to you because 2 months ago, the government asked us to do a soft inquiry, and we didn't tell you about it then. See, it's almost like they're covering tracks.
That's the strange thing that I'm thinking of. That's very, very strange, because it would have been better that I didn't get this letter.
Yeah,
really,
it's very strange. I think this. I mean, this is just my spidey senses. They were giving tons of info, and then when the whole kerfuffle came last month, they said, oh, we better tell people what we've been doing. That's what I think is going on here.
And that's what I thought too, that they're doing some backpedaling here now, trying to cover their tracks a little bit. But in doing so, you know, I mean, all they're doing is they're just raising questions to people like me. Right?
Well, as you say, this was dated November 27. Now, I know that Justin Trudeau sort of backed off on this because there was such a public outcry. We had thousands of people sign our petition at stopsnooping.ca.
Right.
Other petitions out there, I know the federal Conservatives have petitioned. A lot of people were saying this is crazy. So this suggests that although Statistics Canada isn't going for your bank records anymore, they may be still going for your credit records. If this letter's dated November 27th.
That's what I'm thinking. And this is even worse. I would rather them go into my bank, okay? The whole idea is they're supposed to strip your personal information. So all they were supposed to do is go into the bank accounts. I'm sorry, I don't mean all they're supposed to do. I disagree with it totally. But to go into your bank account and just populate your banking habits. Not your personal information, not your name, not your date of birth, not your social insurance number, maybe the town you live in, and that's it. So now, when they thought they were going to get the kibosh on that, they decided, okay, well, we have the right to do this. So let's just go directly into the consumer's personal file, and not only will we get banking information, we're going to get all of the information on that consumer. Because credit reports contain more than credit information. You have your cell phone provider, you have your utility companies, there are partial account numbers in there. Hackers would have a ball with this.
You know, that's a great point because the bank is just your money, what you spend, what you earn. That's a lot of private information. But credit, anytime like you ask for, you know, whether it's your, like you say, cell phone, all the information about who and what you're even talking to, maybe getting a credit card, looking at maybe a loan, that's information that wouldn't be in your bank.
No, it wouldn't. It's got all your employer information down there.
Right.
And it would have legal information on your credit file, if there was any.
And it's got opinions about you. That's what a credit bureau is.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's late. He's been late these 7 times.
Right.
So it's actually a lot. In some ways, it's more. If you got $10,000 in the bank, all right, that's a number. But a credit bureau would say, oh, he was slow there. I wonder what's going on there. He owes this guy $50. So it's got some stuff that's a little embarrassing, maybe.
This is much more sensitive than what they were going to do. This information that they've collected here.
To me, what's so important is that the date on this, November 27, 2018, I think the Liberal government thought they could make this go away by saying, all right, guys, we're not interested. This shows me that as of 2 weeks ago, there's still things percolating on this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It makes sense to me.
Well, let me ask you this. A couple weeks ago, or about a month ago, when this thing was ramping up, we brought in a senior lawyer from the Toronto law firm of Minden Gross. Pretty big firm. I've known them for a few years. The lawyer's name is Erwin Shane, and he was ready to go to battle for us. And we were going to do a complaint over the banking issue, but just as we were getting revved up, Trudeau backed off. So we sort of said, well, no point in putting a complaint if they backed off. This tells me that maybe you personally have something to complain about, or at least to smoke out what's really going on. Just before we turn the cameras on, I asked you if you would be willing to allow Minden Gross and their lawyers to follow up on your behalf. You'd be the client, they'd be your lawyer. Our only role would be that we would crowdfund it. And Erwin Shane, he told us that his first letter, it would only be about $1,000 or so. I can't remember exactly what he said. So I don't expect a lot of cost here. Would you be interested in allowing us to crowdfund a lawyer to follow this up for you?
I would be more than happy to do that. Not just on my behalf, but on the behalf of Canadians in general, because this is wrong and it has to stop. I would be more than happy to do that.
Well,
absolutely.
That's great because you've got some skin in the game now. I mean, me, I'm just mad ideologically, but you are someone who it looks like something inappropriate was done.
Absolutely.
You've got a real grounds. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Minden Gross and I'm going to say, all right, Alan is interested. And as the story goes along, will you give us permission to post the lawyer's letter? I mean, we'll redact any personal information about you, but just to show our viewers how the fight is progressing? Can we put like the letter on our website, stopsnooping.ca?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
The people have to know this. Absolutely.
I think you're right. So
Yes.
it is fighting your battle,
Right.
but it's also showing the world what's going on. I think both parts are important.
Yeah, and it's not just my battle. Who knows how many other people got a similar letter but didn't bring it forward?
It's got to be.
There's got to be who knows how many.
It would be shocking to me if it was less than thousands, because
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, probably.
well, this is very interesting. I'm so glad you reached out, because I thought, oh, the Trudeau backed down. There's no real fight to fight. But you are actually the first actual victim, if I may use that word. You don't have, you know, you've got a good confident mentality, but you have in some ways here. I think your privacy has been victimized. We'll help you fight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be great.
Well,
that would be great.
Thanks for being such a happy warrior. It's nice to meet you. And we'll keep moving this forward, because now we have something real. It's not just speculative. Something happened to you, Alan. Maybe it's no big deal, or maybe it is the tip of the iceberg. We'll find out.
Great. I appreciate that.
Great to meet you.
Hey, thank you so
Cheers.
much.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Well, folks, if you're interested in following this, now that we have an actual complaint, go to stopsnooping.ca. You can sign our petition there. And the legal bills will be modest, I imagine. But if they do get big, feel free to chip in to the crowdfunding so we can fight this fight for Alan. Go to stopsnooping.ca.